Almost immediately after Cole and Renteria Hobbs approach the car, people outside and inside the bar react to the sharp sounds of shots being fired.
That AP on my head, see Terrell, they go up fast. All these pussies got no muscle.
We got shots fired outside of St. Paul Street somewhere.
What's that cracking?
1045, 45 Hudson.
Here's how
It's getting cracking up in Minnesota. Do your homework. Do your homework on it. Do get cracking. It do get busting up in Minnesota.
Relatively new gang was connected to a targeted drive-by shooting that shattered the calm of what was supposed to be a normal night out in St. Paul. MN Crime exclusively obtained and reviewed hundreds of court exhibits, documents, and videos that provide never-before-seen insight into the operations of violent gangs in the Twin Cities in the 2020s. Andrew Bernard Glover, location, St. Paul.
He look crazy as hell. Crazy, man. Keep his ass locked down. I'm keeping me with you.
Date, February 23rd, 2021.
Crazy, man.
It starts on the evening of February 23rd, when St. Paul police responded to call of multiple people shot. Upon arrival, officers found a young man critically wounded in the entryway of a bar.
I got a gunshot kit. I got a gunshot kit.
Hold on, where's he shot at?
Despite being rushed to Regents Hospital, Raymond Renteria Hobbs died of his injuries, with the medical examiner later finding multiple...
Damn, he got shot 10 times, bro. God damn.
...shot wounds, 10 in total. He was just 20 years old. At the scene, police found a second victim who had been shot in the back. The 26-year-old woman caught in the crossfire was quickly taken to a nearby hospital.
Ooh, come on, man. Y'all up here hitting innocent motherfuckers. Come on. They just don't give a fuck, though. They don't care. Do your homework on that. That's why I tell y'all subscribe to my channel. I spit nothing but knowledge. Free game. Because motherfuckers not going to sit down and teach all this shit because they don't give a fuck. They not going to put you on point. On game. They sat up here and hit this woman and shit, bro. Hit this lady. That's bogus. That is bogus. Do your homework on being bogus. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just shooting wherever, bro. Y'all not trying to actually hunt y'all target down. That ain't gangster, bro. Being gangster is actually getting your target, like walking them down and facing them. Directly in his face, looking them in his eyes, bro. You not finna blick up no whole crowd, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody say.
Her injuries, which included a bullet piercing her liver. Police secured the crime scene and began canvassing the area for evidence. Across the street from the bar, they found 9mm casings and bullet damage on parked vehicles, blood, and a loaded firearm on the sidewalk outside the bar. Notably, the firearms magazine didn't have cartridges matching those found on the street. Security camera footage from the bar gives a detailed, chaotic account of the events leading up to and following the gunfire. Court documents identify Renteria Hobbs as a known member of the Ham Crazy Gang before his killing. The street gang, known for violent confrontations with other rival gangs in the Twin Cities, including the St. Paul-based Hit Squad, has operated mostly on the east side since at least 2014 and exploded in popularity after 2020. Prosecutors have said in previous court filings that the gang's main purpose is to gain and protect their power and reputation on the east side. To do this, they've used violence and intimidation against rival street gangs. A long simmering gang war saw Ham Crazy members conspiring to obtain at least a dozen firearms during a 3-year period, some stolen and without serial numbers. They also tried to buy, sell, and trade firearms through...
Y'all be thinking it don't be busted. It do. It do be cracking. You know what I'm saying? It just don't be talking about. I mean, talked about. Do your homework on them not talking about it. But it do be cracking, though.
Media to keep their soldiers well equipped. These ongoing gang wars resulted in shootings and killings on both sides, endangering the lives of innocent bystanders, with many of the crimes taking place at public venues, like the St. Paul bar shooting. Ham Crazy members were confirmed to be involved in a July 2019 shootout at a live music event in northeast Minneapolis, exchanging gunshots with rival...
That's crazy, and that's why I stay my ass in the crib. In the crib. Nigga, and motherfuckers clown me for it. I don't give a fuck. At least I know I'm safe. I ain't dead. I ain't taking that motherfucking risk. Y'all want to lose your life? I'm just asking, man. Keep it a million with y'all, like. Nigga, I'm doing the Instacart. I'm doing all of that shit. I'm not leaving the crib. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Because that's how you avoid a lot of situations. But motherfuckers don't think like that.
Members of the Free Shots gang, based in North Minneapolis, and Rolling 30s Bloods members, who are known to operate in South Minneapolis. About 30 minutes before the first 911 call that February night, Raymond Renteria Hobbs arrived at the bar. Unbeknownst to him, it would be the last hour of his life. Surveillance video shows that shortly after his arrival, Andrew Bernard Glover, driving a Dodge Journey, along with his acquaintance Bobby Cole Jr., parked across the street, got out and entered the bar.
And the crazy part is, like, it's crazy how shit'll transpire that fast, like, that quick. Listen to your boy. Nigga, I see some shit that don't look right, nigga, I'm getting the fuck up out of there real quick. I'm not finna stand around and see this shit happen. Like, no, I'm getting the fuck out.
Inside, Cole and Renteria Hobbs greeted each other, but Renteria Hobbs didn't acknowledge Glover, who was seen on surveillance wearing a Snoopy sweatshirt and a distinctive hat. Renteria Hobbs moved to the bar's patio alone. A short time later, Glover followed him and approached. The security footage shows Renteria Hobbs engaging in animated conversation, turning his back to Glover, and then speaking again before shaking his head and returning inside the bar. Glover followed him back inside and appeared to be watching Renteria Hobbs, making several attempts to gain his attention. The two men returned to the patio briefly before going back inside. At one point, Glover made a phone call and then left the bar. At the same time, a car pulled up outside and idled, talked briefly with someone, and then walked away as the car drove off. He crossed the street to his own vehicle, entered the driver's side, and his car's headlights flickered before going out. Meanwhile, inside the bar, Cole was seen trying to persuade Renteria Hobbs to go outside. At 8:02 p.m., Cole and Renteria Hobbs exited the bar and walked across the street toward Glover's car. Cole went to the passenger side, while Renteria Hobbs stood near the driver's side. The security footage captures these movements, setting the stage for the shocking events that followed. Almost immediately after Cole and Renteria Hobbs approached the car, people outside and inside the bar react to the sharp sounds of shots being fired. A woman outside is seen taking cover from the gunfire.
Ma'am, run, Forrest, run. What the f... I'm sorry, that's just me. I'm not standing right there. I'm not staying right there, bro. I already told you I'm out of there. What the fuck is you doing, man? You trying to get hit.
Vehicle. The lights on Glover's car turned on, and it sped away. The surveillance footage shows Renteria Hobbs stumble towards the bar, with a firearm falling onto the sidewalk.
Damn.
The victim enters the bar's vestibule and collapses. 911 calls began at 8:03 p.m.
Fire medical. This is police. We're going to 1045 Hudson Road. There's somebody's possibly shot. Okay, where's the victim? Are they inside?
And first responders arrived just minutes later at 8:07 p.m. Attempting...
I told you, bro, that's one thing about the police, G. Like, by the time they come, you're dead. So that's why you don't rely on them, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? They only show up when you're dead, bro. They don't give a fuck. Listen to your boy. I'm trying to put y'all on game, bro. They don't show up until you're gone.
ID the shooter, officers searched for recent incidents involving a Dodge Journey, which led them to a recent traffic stop involving Glover, whose appearance matched that of the suspected shooter from the security footage. It was their first break in the case.
Right.
Officers arrested Glover just 2 days after the shooting, near a vehicle matching the description of the vehicle seen outside the bar. Incredibly, at the time of his arrest, Glover was wearing the same Snoopy sweatshirt shown.
How dumb you gotta be to be wearing the same motherfucking sweater, G? The same motherfucking hoodie. How stupid you gotta be. That's why I'm saying these motherfuckers slow. Just do whatever.
Bar's security footage. Investigators interrogated Glover, and he admitted that he was at the bar on the night of the shooting.
You were at the room about 9:30, 10.
Stanky
You remember what happened there?
You finna burn a COVID mask and shit. Hot breath ass. Dookie breath ass. Fuck wrong with you?
Yep. And then I got ready to leave. red. All I knew was car skirt and all. Okay, gunshot.
Like,
you know these cats.
Just dumb as fuck to be wearing the same sweater. Nigga, I would have burnt the sweater. I would have did all types of shit, nigga. I would have burnt the car. Like, you just stupid, bro. Like, stupid.
I don't know the names. It's the typical, hey, what's up? So you seen them before? They always in the bar.
Glover repeatedly denied any association with Bobby Cole.
You have you on camera coming with this guy. No, that guy was outside. He never came on car, sir. Right, well, he walked out with your little brother's friend. And they walked to your car. They walked. I seen. Listen. Didn't nobody get in my car. Gunshots go off. I skirts off. Didn't know.
What?
We got video of it. Didn't nobody get in my car. That's why.
Stupid ass.
We got video of
He
him.
think he ain't get caught. He think
car,
that ain't him.
This guy.
Like, motherfucker, they know who they looking at. Like,
Was him. Okay?
he trying to run a game on them and shit.
He outside with the girl. He was in the bar talking. What's his name? I don't know him. I never saw him. That's what I'm saying. You know him? He's from Chicago. He knows you? I don't know who the he is.
Police impounded Glover's car, and after obtaining a search warrant, they examined it for gunshot residue.
Like, you just stupid as fuck, bro. Like, you should have burnt that motherfucker, bro. What was you thinking? Like, yeah. Motherfuckers like him deserve to get sent up the road. I'm just keeping it real with you, bro. Because when you do dumb shit like this, you can't feel sorry for a motherfucker, bro. So, yes, he deserved to get sent up the road, bro. The fuck?
Fingerprints and DNA samples. Testing identified gunshot residue in the vehicle, which indicated that someone in or nearby shot a firearm, or someone had gunshot residue on them when they got inside.
So you've been injured in a recent car accident, and you want to get a major check like this right here. Here's what you're gonna do. Use this app.
When they got inside, forensic specialists matched Glover's fingerprints to prints lifted from the car, but didn't match any to Cole. Police executed a search warrant at Glover's residence, specifically for clothes he wore.
It's getting hot. This crazy work, bruh.
During the shooting and for the murder weapon. At the residence, officers discovered the hat Glover wore the night of the shooting, a loaded Bursa Thunder 380 handgun wrapped in a...
How slow you gotta be to still have that in your possession? If I know I just did this stuff and I know I'm guilty of it, nigga, the first thing I'm doing is burning my clothes, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Throwing the gun away. I'm doing all types of shit, nigga. Like, what the fuck? You leaving behind cookie crumbs. Like, you leaving behind trails for them to come and pick up. Like,
bag on a top shelf, and rounds of 9mm and .22 caliber ammunition. DNA testing on the grip of the firearm revealed a mixture of DNA from 3 or more individuals, with Glover's DNA profile as a major contributor. Notably, a Bursa 380 cannot fire 9mm rounds like those used in the shooting. For this reason, the 9mm ammunition was relevant in finding that Glover possessed the type of firearm used in the murder, a weapon that was never found.
right.
Glover's attorney moved to suppress this evidence, including the Snoopy sweatshirt, arguing that the officers lacked probable cause to believe...
Even though they ain't got the gun, bro, they got him on camera. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it real with y'all.
...it committed a crime.
Bro.
The defense also moved to suppress the evidence found during the search of his home, including the hat and 9mm ammunition, arguing that law enforcement misrepresented information in the search warrant application. After an evidentiary hearing, the district court found that police did have probable cause to arrest Glover based on reasonable inferences drawn from the bar's security footage. The court also found that the lead investigator did not recklessly misrepresent Glover's interaction with Renteria Hobbs when he used the word confrontation in the search warrant application because it was a reasonable inference from the bar's security footage. However, just before the court denied the motion to suppress, Glover's attorney gave notice of what's called alternative perpetrator defense, alleging that Bobby Cole was the shooter. Glover also moved to introduce evidence of Cole's prior crimes, including a 2017 incident, resulting in Cole's conviction for threats of violence, in which Cole kicked in his girlfriend's front door, hit her with his cane, and threatened to have his...
Yeah. Keep his ass locked up, bro. Seriously, like, bro, choose them wisely, bro. Choose them wisely. You think your shit sweet like lemonade, and it ain't. Shit ain't sweet, man.
Bring a gun over and shoot her. And a 2019 incident resulting in Cole's conviction for first-degree aggravated robbery, in which he and an accomplice robbed a victim at gunpoint on the light rail in St. Paul. For that 2019 incident, Cole was only sentenced to probation. The court allowed Glover's alternative perpetrator defense, but denied his motion to admit the evidence of Cole's prior crimes, finding they weren't relevant, and the case proceeded to trial. The court found that Glover didn't have enough evidence to pursue this line of defense because there were no known suspects from the prior shooting, nor any evidence linking the supposed suspects to the murder. After the rulings, the prosecution would move to have the case reviewed by a grand jury. Grand jury proceedings took up much of the summer and fall and rendered a decision in late 2021. This would be a key turn in the case, as the grand jury opted to indict both Glover and his co-defendant Cole Jr., who was the passenger in the vehicle. Prosecutors would use the indictment of the passenger to enter into a plea agreement with him, dropping some charges in exchange for an 18-year sentence. Under Minnesota law, defendants typically serve 2/3 of their sentence, so it equated to roughly 12 years behind bars for Cole. In the meantime, prosecutors worked hard to build a first-degree, premeditated murder case against Glover. Prosecutors believed Glover to be the shooter in a targeted, premeditated murder, but Glover continued to maintain his innocence. After more than 2 years elapsed, Glover's case went before a jury in September 2023, with his defense attorney arguing he was not the gunman. But jurors quickly returned a verdict, finding him guilty of first-degree murder and drive-by shooting. By law, he was automatically sentenced to life in prison.
They did right. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't sit up here and be out here tweaking, doing dumbass shit, reckless shit. YNs take notes, bro. This ain't how you want to live, G. Like, it ain't. Till next time, y'all subscribe to my second channel. It's called Yo Terrell Reacted Again. If I ask comes to being produced over there, you're disappointed, man. Y'all go subscribe to my third channel, Terrell Be Hotboxing. Do y'all homework on me taking over with this content shit. I already told y'all, but enough said. Love y'all and I'm out.